This is an animated supplement for Chapter 21, Culp's Hill on July 2nd, from the book Our Fathers at Gettysburg by Kunkel. On the morning of July 2nd, the Federal 12th Corps guarded Culp's Hill, which in turn protected Baltimore Pike, which was the Federal Army's main supply route for ammunition, rations, medical supplies, etc. The Federal position was nearly impregnable, with thousands of Union soldiers protected by thick barricades they had constructed throughout the morning. But by late afternoon, with Longstreet's attack on the southern end of the Federal line, the Union command began stripping brigades from Culp's Hill and sending them to the south end of the line as reinforcements. But the Federals overdid it. They denuded the entire Union line except for one brigade, Greene's brigade, now expected to defend the entire eastern side of the hill on its own. Greene stretched his line as far south as he could, which wasn't very far, so the lower half of Culp's Hill was completely undefended. Just at this inopportune moment for the Federals, Confederate Division Commander Johnson ordered 3 of his brigades to attack Culp's Hill. They had been lurking in the area most of the day, waiting for Longstreet to begin his attack on the south end of the line. Johnson's 2 right brigades, near Upper Culp's Hill, had the hardest job, since they had the steepest climb to reach Greene's barricades. But even with his greatly thin line, Greene was able to hold off the Confederate attack, since his men were well protected behind their thick wall of logs and boulders. But things were much different on the far south end of the line, where Stewart's brigade attacked. Some of Stewart's regiments stumbled around in the growing darkness, looking for the Union line, before they finally figured out there was no Union line. Stewart's units then focused on Greene's regiment farthest to the south, the 137th New York. Now attacked from both the south and from the east, the 137th's commander refused his right flank. But it wasn't enough, and the New Yorkers fell behind what was called the Traverse, which was a barricade Greene had constructed earlier in the day to protect his lower right flank. The Traverse proved to be a godsend for the Union defenders. By now, the Union command on Cemetery Hill realized that Culp's Hill was in severe danger, and they began pulling reinforcements from anywhere they could find them and rushing them to Culp's Hill. One of the first to arrive was the 71st Pennsylvania, but the 71st commander did not like fighting in the dark in the woods, and he simply about-faced his regiment and left. But now more reinforcements began arriving, and now, in total darkness, Johnson called off the attack, and Culp's Hill remained Union, at least for the rest of the night. For much more on this battle, including descriptions by the soldiers involved, as well as photos, illustrations, and Google links to the actual battlefield locations, please refer to this book,